Hello folks, this is Hidden Numismatist back at you again with another video on my channel. Today's feature coin, the coin that we're featuring today on the channel, is another pre-33, another half eagle. Yes, I know, another pre-33 gold, but hear me out folks. Don't change shadows just yet, okay? This isn't just any other run-of-the-mill pre-33 half eagle. This is my 1882 Carson City, graded by the fine, and I do agree, graded as a fine by the dealer, and I do agree with him on this, as I bought this from one of my favorite coin shops. We've done business with each other for many years. And as you can see, just a vintage of just 82, almost 83,000. Tells you why that this is a little bit of a desirable coin. $5 gold piece known as a half eagle in pre-33 United States numismatics from 1882. And we all know that this is the variety 2 with that beautiful motto, "In God We Trust," on the reverse there. That went from 1866 to 1908. Designed by our beloved Christian Gobrecht, all 90% gold. Made at Philadelphia, Carson City, Denver, New Orleans, and San Francisco. And as you can see here, there are Carson City messages here and there. Almost every year. There were a few spot years where they didn't do anything, but the 1882 here, as you can see here, just a little bit more than 82,000. Not necessarily more of a key, but definitely a key in the pre-33 gold for being Carson City, obviously. And there are other issues from Carson City half eagles that have a lower mintage, but still this is a rare coin. So it's a little bit of a desirable coin. So I want to talk about this beautiful coin, get some numismatists involved, and discuss it with you as the coin that we're featuring today. David Akers, we all know, bring him up always a lot on my channel. He states that the 1882 is the most common half eagle from this mint prior to 1891. It is not particularly hard to find in XF condition or less. Almost uncirculated specimens, however, are very scarce, and strictly uncirculated coins are quite rare. Randy Go works closely with Q. David Bowers, so I wanted to include Rusty Go's opinion on this as well as a numismatist. And he gets a little bit more into history of it. This is what I love about numismatics, is the history. So Rusty Go says, after surviving the past 3 years of intermittent operations, the Carson City Mint looked forward to having all of its departments running at full capacity, all the way through 1882. Much of that will depend on the cooperative constituency of the Treasury and the steady supply of fresh bullion. In his annual report published in October of 1882, Mint Director Horatio Burchard gave a brief but favorable review of the Carson Mint's performance through the first 9 months of the year. It had in fact remained in continuous operation, mostly because the difficulty in procuring silver for coinage was less than that experienced in former years. The director had also noted that the Carson City Mint's production level of coinage had increased substantially from the preceding year. His valuation of a doubling of the output reflected on his use of fiscal year statistics. When viewed through a calendar year lens, the output of coins, in terms of face value and quantity, nearly quadrupled in 1882. And that's what I mean. Yes, it is a higher mintage year, as we can see, relative to the other years. But still, like I said, it's Carson City. It doesn't have the mintage of 3 million, 1.3 million, 5.7 million, well below 100,000. So, still a very desirable coin. Yeah, the 76 is not going to happen, is it? Beautiful coin. Beautiful coin. Production of gold double eagles resumed in Carson City that year, which might lead us to the conclusion that the yield on half eagles declined. The numbers, however, speak clearly to the contrary. The coiners at the Carson City Mint turned out the highest quantity of $5 gold pieces in that institution's 13-year history up to that time. The mintage for 1882 would go to rank third overall for the 19 years half eagles were produced at that plant. Coiner Levi Dowd and his staff got busy in the first month of the year in the making of half eagles, and by the middle of the year in 1882 had banged out just north of 42,000 pieces. They nearly matched that number in the second half of the year, emitting 40,617 of the small denomination gold coins, with the final 6,417 delivered on December. Of the 82,000 plus 1882 half eagles minted, possibly 1 to 1.25% survives. We got to get Q. David Bowers involved. Q. David Bowers, our Jedi, says that the 1882 Carson City mintage of half eagles was 82,817 pieces, of which Rusty Go estimates 750 to 950 exist in total, 40 to 50 in mint state. My estimate, based on old-time grading, is more conservative, with 225 to 300 circulated, and only about a half of his mint state number, taking into account a small group of 82 cc half eagles found in Europe, not a usual source, in 1994, and reported to have at least a half dozen in low mint state ranges. Scattered mint state listings can be found in some early listings, including the 1914 William F. Gable collection, and an early fixed price list issued by Morris Wormser in September of 1937, not long after he formed the New Netherlands Coin Company. And like I said, they're all 90% gold mintage of just north of 82,000. And we have the beloved Liberty head facing the left with the Stars of the Union. And the lettering is Liberty 1882. Oops, sorry, made a default typo there. It should be 1882 with the year of issue, followed with Liberty, preceded by Liberty. And the reverse has the eagle centered, ready to take flight. Love that eagle. One of my favorite eagles on United States coins. United States of America, the motto "In God We Trust." And the mint mark, in this case, will be, and always will be, above the 5. Above the 5 there. 5D for $5. Mint mark being right above 5. And you also know that the Liberty is referred to as the cornet head. So, this is definitely a little piece, a little beautiful gold lady that you want to have, because anything Carson City is beautiful and just downright awesome. I do have other half eagles that we can discuss, but I did want to feature a beautiful Carson City. And these are the grading standards used roughly There's more. I mean, this is just a guide point, a starting point. You want to definitely bring out your A&E grading standards book for United States coins when you're looking at a serious coin, and be sure that you always buy it, of course, from a reputable dealer. That is a find without a doubt. And the model starts in 1866. And the first year that Carson City picked it up was in 1870, pardon my reach, with a very low mintage, just shy of 8,000. And it gradually increased and decreased through the years, when finally here is yours truly's coin at 1882. Beautiful, beautiful coin. What? Like I said, not every year that the mint did pick it up, but, and then of course the last year was 1893, but basically almost every year they did. So, and then we have the beautiful Indian head, which is also a beautiful sentimental design done by our Bella Line Pratt. So, let me know what you all think. What CC gold do you beautiful folks have in your collections, especially the half eagle, since today's featured coin is a half eagle. And I definitely am very proud to have this beautiful small lady, little bit of a gem, in my collection. And I hope to have her with me for as long as I can. So, let me know what you think on this one. And I want to see if you agree with David Akers and Rusty Go and Q. David Bowers. I'm sure that many of us really don't have much to say once David Akers and especially Q. David Bowers gives their opinion on any of our beautiful coins. So that's it. That's the coin that we're featuring today, folks. I hope that you have a blessed, wonderful week. Hope all of you had a restful weekend. And be kind to each other. Take care of each other. And most importantly, may God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.